tired of carrying the load, traveling the road once more. I'll be there to take you by the hand. Baby, that's what friends are for. Who's to say we can't just fly away? Every day brings something new. Hold me tight, we're climbing stars tonight. Baby, love will see us through. Baby, love will see us through.
Hello friends, how are you? मेरे प्यारे listeners, thank you for coming again. And today we're going to talk about breakup, the new makeup. So are you ready to making up your own mind? It's not just about making up as a makeup kind of thing for your features. It's not about a woman going out to the parlor and getting a makeup to feel pretty again, to feel beautiful again. It's about a makeup which is an inner makeup, and that needs to be done right now. This is the most important thing which I'm going to share with you. Whenever we are feeling low, and that is happening whenever we have been drained out by giving enough to the other person, by doing a lot of things for the other person, by desiring a lot of things in return from the other person, by not taking care of ourselves when we were with them, by neglecting ourselves all the time. We thought that love can be unconditional. For sure it can be unconditional, provided we were fulfilling ourselves every single time. And this fulfillment is not something to do with just the things from outside, the things which we get from financial success. This has got something to do with the inner fulfillment. That means as a soul, and I'm going to talk to you about spirituality now. As a soul, am I fulfilled enough with knowledge, with pure thoughts, with peaceful thoughts, with happiness, with self-love, with power to face situations, to be cool and calm and relaxed in any kind of situation? Am I full of all these qualities so that I'm able to give unconditionally every single time? You see, we get drained out whenever we are in a relationship, and when we are overly focused on the other person. Ask yourself, why are you doing that? There are only two things. Either you're doing it to get something in return from them, an expectation. Every human being has an expectation, I understand that. That's one thing. Or you are trying to win the love of the other person. Again, it's all about getting in something in return. Or you're craving for some attention. You're craving for appreciation. That's why you're doing more and more for the other person. But if something doesn't come back in return, what do you do then? Are you strong enough to take this burden? Well, spirituality says that you need not take that burden at all, because there's a way of giving by being detached. Well, if you haven't done that, obviously you're in a stage of breakup, right? The term breakup is a very heavy word. Let's put it in this way: a time to recoup, a time to spend time with the self, a time to fill myself back with the energies, a time, a gap to go within myself, a time, a gap to re-energize, a time, a gap to again put the ship back to its own course, because I had lost the course while I was focused on the other ship, right? My ship went astray. So now how do I do this? What is the method of doing it? The most important thing when a breakup happens is we start seeking for love outside. Don't do that. We start looking for appreciation from outside. We start looking for why I wasn't wrong and the other person was wrong. And especially that comes from your friends, your near and dear ones, and from your family members. Don't take that. That's a very negative downside to go towards, because spirituality says that you will increase your false ego. And when you increase your false ego, that's the time you can't see things clearly. You are blinded. You can't see that, yes, there was the goodness in the other person and I could learn something from the other person. Right? Whereas when you have that ego in you, you'll be shunning what you learned from the other person. You'll be shunning away the lessons which came to you from the other person. You'll be shunning away the experiences which are actually molding you right now, which are making you better and beautiful right now as a person. What do you want to be? You want to take away bad feelings and hurtful feelings from this relationship? Or do you want to actually go deep within and try to find out what exactly was the value which this person gave you? There is something which you can learn from every being. There is something which you can learn. It could be a quality. It could be a value. It could be a virtue which you could pick up from your ex. Right? I have learned a lot of things from my past relationships. I have actually learned beautiful things from my past relationships. In some cases, I have learned patience. In some cases, I have learned how to talk less and tolerate a lot. In some cases, I have learned how to be jovial in all situations. In some cases, I have learned how to tackle people, how to talk to people, which I was not able to do just like this. So how have I come over here? I've come over here with certain experiences, by meeting people, by staying with them, by learning things, and as per that I could make certain choices in my life. So are you able to understand that a breakup, or let's say a time apart from another person, is a time for you to imbibe certain good things and a time for you to take out certain bad behaviors or bad nature which you have imbibed within you while being with that person? That bad nature could be attachment. That bad nature could be seeking approval, seeking appreciation all the time. That bad nature could be jealousy. That bad nature could be controlling nature, right? That bad nature could be my way, the highway. That bad nature could be indiscipline. That bad nature could be no focus in life. That bad nature could be financial instability. That bad nature could be not taking care of your health. So you see, I've just pointed out so many aspects which you might have missed out amongst all of these aspects. Think about it. Contemplate about it. Am I not right when I talk about all these things? Because I have faced them. I've been through that. Every being has been through that. It's just about somebody is there to express it. Somebody has gone through the hardships. Somebody has learned the hard way and they like to express and share the feelings, and they don't want you to go through it the same way, right? There's a guidance. There's a system which if we follow, we can all come back and rise up quickly. It shouldn't take you 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, 3 months, 10 months, or a year to come back. It should just happen like this. But how will it happen? Well, if you have self-respect, self-value, and it doesn't mean, self means self-given. Self doesn't mean given by somebody else. Self-value doesn't mean given by somebody else. Well, when we set apart from a person in our life after spending a lot of time with that person, mostly our value has been based on what that person told us. It happens. It becomes a nature. It becomes a habit. When you start staying together, you look for validation from each other. It's a natural process. But spirituality teaches us, and we are going to discuss in our next episodes too, how do we become detached while being with a person? How can I create a shield around myself which is not going to allow another person to always validate me. Yes, I can ask for suggestions in my life, but that shouldn't mean that I depend upon the other person for every single aspect of my life, that I actually become a burden to the other person. Think about it. Did you become a burden to the other person? If you were a burden to the other person, you will realize right now what I'm talking about. It's a heavy thing. You see, you want relationships to be very light. You want relationships to have that lightness where you can smile, where you have no control over the other person's life. You are working in tandem together, making things happen together. They can have separate lives. You can have a separate life, but you bring about happiness or your experiences together, and you build each other with experiences. Whereas if you start controlling the other person cannot move or experience. We generally feel that we're trying to protect the other person from making mistakes or from falling down. But actually, think about it. Is it really that you're trying to control the other person from falling down, or you are scared, or you are fearful? What are you projecting to the other person? Fear or care or love? Well, in the case of any kind of physical harm, obviously you should protect. But in case of any kind of psychological experience, which the other person can go through quickly, it is better when there's no harm in it. It is better that if you allow that person to not to be controlled by you. So, well, coming back to things, what exactly have you learned? Let's recap. What values have you learned? Are you able to discern and shun off all the discernments or the judgments passed by your friends and relatives? And are you able to cocoon yourself and bring yourself to the understanding, the real understanding, that I need to learn out of this, I need to change myself? When you're taking responsibility, when you are focused on self, and when you're not blaming the other person for the breakup or the separation, it is very important that you realize that you are taking responsibility back in your hands. You're becoming a powerful being. That's the first step to spirituality. Believe me or not, it is always this way. It is very, very important to actually take this as a foundation of self-improvement. Focus on the self. And another thing right now which you can do, immediately right now which you can do at this moment, is always send good wishes to that person. You see, your heart might be aching, but because you're feeling empty. This chakra of yours is the heart chakra of love. Till now you were seeking that love from the other person. You are wanting that love from the other person. It could be a spouse, it could be a divorce case, not just a breakup I'm talking about over here. So you're seeking that love from the other person, and suddenly those vibrations, those energies have blocked away. They are no longer there with you. Now, how do you fulfill this? How do you fill up this chakra? How do you energize this chakra? Only one way. Send out heartfelt good wishes to the other person. You want that person to progress in prosperity, in finances. Pray for that person. I'm telling you. If that person was facing health issues, pray for that person. I'm telling you. It's going to come back to you. You're going to fill yourself up. You're going to heal yourself up first. Giving good wishes, having good feelings and good thinking for the other person is the most important thing which you can do for making yourself powerful and strong right now. And that is the foundation for you to rise up and step up from, so that you can step up from these good feelings. You're healing yourself, and at the same time you're moving ahead. You're taking every good wish which you give out as a stepping stone towards your own moving ahead or moving on in your life. You're raising your energy, you're raising your platform every single moment when you're doing that. So I leave you with these two things to think about. Learn something good, make a platform of giving good wishes, shun out all those things which people are telling you. Go within yourself, be a soul who is in its own journey. Be on your journey. I'll see you next time in the next episode. Till then, take care. Bye bye from here. See you.